All right, Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Yahweh is who the world intimately calls God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world intimately calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And this video is going to basically touch on how E represents Esau, the so-called white man, is barking up the wrong tree. And you people with your, being that you're hypnotized by evil E's mainstream media, you're going to be barking up the wrong tree. You're going to be, you know, you're going to be held accountable for being false accusers, because that's what it is. In the Apostle Gabar, his lesson, and I also just, I watched a little bit of the brother GMS Austere Men. He had did a lesson entitled "The New Face of COVID-19," which is your so-called African Americans. And we understand, bro's been, this video's been circulating how it's not the coronavirus, all right, that's killing people. It's the 5G radiation that's killing people. And I watch the elder brother Ayathan, his video. All right, it says, I recorded a short discourse with a utility man installing 5G in the neighborhood. And as earlier I watched this video and I was thinking about something that one of the brothers in the camp, the brother Kalab, he made a beautiful point one time, to where here it is, you looking at Jake as a face of terror, all right, everything bad in the earth. Meanwhile, your next door neighbor, your best friend, your cousin even, meanwhile, he's the one spraying chemtrails in the air. He's the manager for Monsanto. He's the security guard, at a prison, or at a, shooting Jake down in the street. And I'm talking about, you so-called white people. All right, here it is. Your people is the one orchestrating this stuff. I mean, of course, you have certain Jakes, that work for cell phone companies and putting up them towers, But if you want to judge the whole matter, man. You Edomites are doing the same damn thing, man. Your people are the ones that's covering up, how these planes are spraying chemtrails and making people sick. All right, your people are the ones. Your people are the ones starting wars in other countries, man. All right, your people. And they like to say, well, we're slaves too, We all gotta work and pay taxes. Well, as Akim always said, it sucks to be you. All right, but you're barking up the wrong tree. And when you look into what does that mean, it says be barking up the wrong tree. It says be pursuing a mistaken or misguided line of thought or course of action. So here it is. You looking at the so-called black man as the problem. Meanwhile, the person outside putting that 5G tower up, in front of your house is the problem. All right. As I said before, the person, spraying chemtrails, all right, in the sky is the problem, man. Might be a next door neighbor, might be a cousin, might be a friend of the family. All right. But hey, it just goes to show you too what time we in, because Esau preparing to, I gotta watch this. Esau preparing to put the clamps on you so-called African Americans, really all you tribes, man. They have things called Hispanic Lives Matter and Indian Lives Matter. All you tribes, Esau's getting ready to put a foot in your ass. But of course, the top tribe, you Judah, so-called African Americans, All right, you're gonna be the spearhead of Jacob's trouble. All right, and you know, uh, I was reading Sirach 12:10. All right, it says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth." Actually, I'll start at 9. I start at 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. And as the scriptures say, every man shall flee to his own people. I want to say that's, let me see. Okay, Isaiah 13:14. And it shall be, I start at 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined to them shall fall by the sword. And your your best friend that you might have grew up with, or the guy that you work with, and you get beers together, you might hang out, for Thanksgiving or whatever the case may be. All right, and he's of another nation. Guess what? You're gonna find out that he's your enemy, because when shit hits the fan, all right, and you blacks are known to be contagious, or guess what? You're eating your so-called white buddy, Joe. He's not gonna be so, gun ho to be cool with you anymore. All right, his wife, his wife might feel some type of way about you being at the house now. She feel like it's unsafe, and guess what? You can't come to the house anymore. You know how Esau is. His wife rules the household. All right. So let's go back to Sirach 12:9. It says, "In the prosperity of a man and enemies, in the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust thine enemy." All right. So this is perfect. Never trust thine enemy. And you see why we've been saying that now. Now you see, as the scriptures say, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Now you see, all right, this so-called white man hates you. All right, now you see. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And a quick note, through the spirit, the apostles called this guy Trump Nero. And when you look at Nero burnt down Rome, for one particular reason. All right, he built that Rome for his own, gain. Because I believe he wanted to rebuild he wanted to rebuild something, I can't remember, but he burnt down Rome for his own gain. But yeah, he blamed it on the Israelites. Let's see. See why did all right, this is the Wikipedia page, all right, entitled "The Great Fire of Rome." The Great Fire of Rome was an urban fire that occurred in July 64 AD. The fire began in the merchant shops around Rome's Chariot Stadium, Circus Maximus, on the night of July 19th, After 6 days, the fire was brought under control, and before the damage could be measured, the fire reignited and burned for another 3 days. In the aftermath of the fire, 2/3 of Rome had been destroyed. You know, must mean 2/3 of niggas is gonna be destroyed. According to Tacitus, in later Christian tradition, Emperor Nero blamed the devastation on the Christian community in the city, initiating the empire's first persecution against the Christians. All right, so your death is being initiated as we speak, as the Apostle Gabar, brought out. Basically, Apostle Gabar said that in so many words: the new face of the coronavirus / Trump's vow unleash hell to fight the virus. So if you put two and two together, that sounds like Jacob's trouble to me. That sounds like Esau Edom, the so-called white man, revealing himself. All right, so now when we go back to Sirach 12 and 11, though he humbled himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. And we, as seers of the Lord, been telling you that his as mouthpieces of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai fed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to feed you. We've been telling you this man ain't right for you, but, you continue to claim him as your lover. So you just got to learn the hard way for you 2/3. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked wherewith. Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? Or any such as cometh nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. And hey, our enemies are gonna make themselves known. Esau Edom is being revealed, which has to happen prior to his downfall. So that's a blessing from the Lord, showing you what time we're in. If adversity, Slakia, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but he will find opportunity. He will not be satisfied with blood. And that's evil all the way. Just look at his history. All right, like in the time of the Maccabees, the scriptures say how he spoke peaceable words, all right, to Israel, because at the time, under Antiochus Epiphanes, it was a great slaughter of the Israelites because they chose not to bow down unto their so-called New World Order that he was trying to orchestrate at the time. So he waited a couple of years, came back, and spoke peaceable words. He even tried to get the leaders over Israel at the time, Mattathias and his brother, to follow after Antiochus, knowing that if he were to do that, they will follow after him. The rest will follow. But the scriptures speak about when they came, they spoke peaceable words, but all was deceit. So it says, the Lord, hey, that's why scripture say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Knowing your history, knowing your enemy's history, all right, it gives you strength, all right, it gives you a one up. As this guy Sun Tzu said, he that is at the battle first and prepared will most likely win the battle. All right, so it says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him first. There's actually a scripture on that too. It says, if you teach the son you grieve the enemy. You know? So it says, if adversity teach thy son, and thou grievest the enemy. So it says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So he's going to be there at your fall. All right. Trump is saying what? He was planning to unleash hell, all right, upon this virus. You know, so hey, we'll see what happens, but hey, just know that you've been warned through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, just something quick, speaking through the spirit. With that, shalom to the elect.